Hey y'all. So this food stamp thing is going crazy. There is over 42 million people who depend on food stamps. Y'all, this is crazy. What a fine time to pick to be cutting people's food stamps off this week. This week they are cutting all of these people's food stamps off. There's going to be people who are hungry. We got the government shutdown, employees of the government losing their jobs. They're not getting paid. I mean, y'all, this is a fine time at the end of 2025. We already had a lot going on. 42 million families are going to be left hungry. This is crazy, y'all. This is really crazy. This is really crazy. Do they have food banks where these families can go and get food from? Do they have some type of assistance where they can refer these families? They're going to be hungry children. They're going to be hungry even adults who depend on these food stamps. Yo, this is crazy. This is beyond belief, you guys. This is really, really sad. This is very, 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 very sad at a time where it's almost Thanksgiving. These people can't even probably afford a Thanksgiving because of the income that they get. And some of these people are working hard and striving to do better in life and need some type of assistance to help. And y'all do this at this time? This is crazy. But y'all, my heart goes out to y'all. I'm sorry that y'all have to go through this at this time of year. It is almost Thanksgiving. This is terrible. This is terrible. But they got these tariffs charging people a whole arm and a leg to get stuff from China. And you're telling me that y'all taking food stamps away? Okay. Y'all, stay prayed up because 2025, y'all, we all know has been very, very crazy. But it's going to be all right, y'all. It's going to be all right.
Well, we're days away from a food stamp crisis, and millions of Americans are going to feel the pain. But who's to blame? Well, look at this. It says the USDA blames Democrats for potential SNAP benefits lapse in new message and says the well has run dry. We are now starting to get some very interesting reports where some Americans are coming out and saying that they are just going to steal the food. They aren't going to pay for it. They're going to go to stores, steal the food so that they can actually feed their family. And I get it. That's a tough situation to be in. But I want to play you some clips. Look at this one right here, because this is something that a lot of people are extremely concerned about, and they are overspending at this time. Listen to this.
Y'all, I just read my email from DHS last night. And that just said even if you have food stamps left on your card November the 1st, they system's not going to be accepting it at the store. So you need to go on and get shelf-able food now that can last you from November and beyond. It's just a word being put out. That's some crazy work, G.
Here's the problem with what she just said. First off, there was a letter put out by the USDA that said that you should go get some shelf-stable food. And the reason for this is because it wouldn't make sense to go out there and buy a lot of fruits and vegetables that are going to have a very short shelf life. What the USDA said is to go and get food that can actually sit on your shelf for potentially weeks or maybe even months, because that's how long they expect these delays to last. Even if the federal government decides to open up today, which is October 26th, many people are receiving benefits in the next several days. for the month of November. Here's the problem. These delays would these food benefits would see a delay of likely 2 to 3 weeks, because the money still has to be we still have to get the money, then it has to be appropriated to the right things, and then it has to be sent to the states. So that's the issue. But what she's saying is, go out there and spend all the money that you have on your card, because stores are not going to be accepting it. That's not true.
The real truth is American people are just entitled and spoiled and unresourceful. That's it. That's all. That's the truth. Look when I look at my Italian friends and I'm at the house, I'm hanging out, I will watch their nonna literally whip up a whole fucking pot of pasta that tastes like something out of The Godfather for less than $5. Okay? It'll be a pasta with no meat. I had a neighbor, her name was Missy, she was Italian. She used to always bring me pastas. She used to bring me a pasta with spinach, sausage, butter, and noodles, okay? This fucking pasta was out of this world. And she's like, oh, this is one of my pool meals, dude. It's not. So what I'm saying is, y'all, it's no reason, I'm going to say this again, why you get $600, $800, $900, $1,000 in food stamps, and you're complaining about the government shutdown for next month, and you're not elderly or disabled or need certain things. These people are buying like their Nutriment, their Boost, they're buying different nutrition aids with this that they actually need for health reasons. But you motherfuckers are just buying hella ho-hos and dipsticks and all types of shit. Gushers, fruit roll-ups. So that's what I'm saying. America, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Same thing in Africa and China. They get a pot of fucking rice. They buy a 20-pound bag of rice. Like, that's one of their main items before meat, before anything. And they cook, and their families eat spreads for the whole month. That's y'all's problem. It's no reason. Look, let me give you a rundown, because I told you I'm going to give y'all resources. You get $500 in food stamps that you and your 3 kids, whatever, okay? Because it goes on a sliding scale depending on what you make. Why did you not take that and buy $100 worth of meat, $100 worth of sides, okay? All right? Then take that and buy $100 worth of lunch buddies and things of that nature, okay? All right? All right? Now you're going to take $40 out of that to go towards your beverages for the month. Waters, juice, whatever. If you run out, you run out. Now you have $1.50 left for your miscellaneous items throughout the month, like your grapes, your carrots, things like that. If you're making something and you realize you don't have the ingredient. It's no reason. Okay, all right. What am I?
Breaking news. Senate Democrats have blocked opening up the government for the 13th time. Okay? Yeah, they don't care about y'all eating. I'm gonna be honest. They don't care about them kids having no food. That's evident. Okay? 13 times they have blocked opening up the government, but they swear they care about their people. Shame on y'all. If y'all vote for them again, guess what? You're dumb.
So Louisiana is releasing their food stamp. A couple hours ago, the Louisiana governor signed some kind of documents. And make a long story short, his people is going to get the food stamp. I told y'all, it really has nothing to do with the government shutdown, because they have the money in reserves. So if you're going to be affected some kind of way, if their governor could have it done, that means your governor could have it done. It's up to you to reach out and make it happen. All I'm saying is, once again, y'all think because I'm speaking up, I get it. I don't get it, but I do think about the seniors. I do think about the disability. I do think about the fact that, do y'all realize that it would trickle down to the grocery stores? All of a sudden now people not getting their hours because people not shopping. Like, it goes beyond. When y'all hear EBT, y'all picture young ladies that looks like me with kids. Y'all ain't looking at the full picture and realize that we the one We're not the one that's really getting it. But anyway, if Louisiana governor could have it done, your governor could have it done. They have the money in reserve.
This is some breaking news. Donald Trump is being sued by 14 states for something that is absolutely despicable. He's attempting to take food stamps and SNAP away from 42 million Americans. That's 1 in 8 people. That's 16 million children he's trying to take food away from. You see, there's available funding even though the government's being shut down, but Trump refuses to use it for food stamps and SNAP. Every single person in America deserves to eat, but Trump is single-handedly trying to make them go hungry. He is a monster.
Now that the food stamps are getting cut off, we need to reinforce kids asking for food before they get it out the refrigerator or out the pantry. When I was young, we used to have to ask before we got anything to eat or drink. Can I have some candy? Can I have some cookies? Can I make me a sandwich? And if we just ate it and didn't ask, and they just looked and seen that it was gone, they going around the house investigating on who ate it or who drunk it. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, I understand because groceries are high. And they was probably just trying to get it to stretch until the next paycheck. I didn't understand back then, but now that I'm grown and I got my own bills and my own paycheck and all of that and trying to make ends meet and have a budget, it all makes sense now. So y'all start back letting them kids ask for food before they get it. It's necessary. As a grown person, I think it's necessary.
So I've seen all the talk about there being no food stamps starting for the month of November. Well, I do not think that's funny. Everybody on food stamps is, not abusing the system. There are people who really do need help. People that are really working, and the state is saying, hey, you're working your butt off and you're still poor enough to get these stamps. And if the state says that, baby, it's rough. So, yes, there are people abusing the system, and those are the people that are messing it up for the people who truly need help. And people are struggling now more than ever. I mean, I know people on food stamps now, couples that have never drew a benefit before, never, and they're two people working their butts off, barely making it. And, yes, food stamps is supposed to be a stepping stone for a little while. Not for you to be on for your whole life. I agree with all that. I believe in working, doing the right thing. But it's not funny that next month, good people, a lot of good people, and their kids, are going to do without food and stuff. That's not funny. Shame on y'all for laughing at that. Saying, oh, you get what you deserve. No. Everybody on food stamps ain't bad. Everybody on food stamps ain't being lazy and being sorry.
Everybody is so fucking concerned about these food stamps and Medicaid, right? I work and I get food stamps. And if they don't come, guess what? I just got to budget my motherfucking check a little better because I'm going to make sure me and my kids eat. I'm not about to sit on here and cry about it. It is what it is. Everybody's not mishandling food stamps. We know that. Okay, but this is what I want Trump to do after this food stamp shit is over. This is what I want him to focus on. Now I want you to go to them SSI checks. I want you to check them little black boys that's getting them checks, that's living in a single parent home. That ain't nothing the fuck wrong with them besides their average little black boys with energy in them, and their mom is taking them down there to the doctor's office, getting them certified as crazy so that she can live her best motherfucking life. That's what you need to be focusing on, not the food stamps that's, that's feeding the kids. One way or another, them food stamps is feeding them goddamn kids. They feeding somebody kids. Even if it ain't the kids that's it's supposed to be feeding, whoever buying them, they feeding their kids. Food stamps benefit somebody some way around the motherfucking board. But them SSI checks that you giving to them single parents, and ain't nothing the fuck wrong with their son, and ain't nothing the fuck wrong with their son besides he bad as hell, he need his ass whooped. That's what the fuck you need to be fucking with. Go fuck with them people. Go fuck with them bitches that's living off their motherfucking kids. And it disgusts me so bad because I've been told so many times, my middle child, he fights in school. I've been told so many times, go take him down there to the doctors. The damn teachers tell me that bullshit. You ain't never took him down to get him checked. Fuck no, and I ain't gonna do it. He's in 11th grade now, and guess what? He has the best grades ever. Does he fight? Yes. Will he fight? Yes. Does that make him special? Fuck no. Do that mean I get a check to live off of him? Fuck no. And that's what the fuck Trump need to be worrying about. Fuck them food stamps. I hate that. I hate to see little black boys being used by their fucking mom for a fucking check. Nothing's wrong with him. Nothing. Bitch, some of them got 2 and 3 of their kids on the goddamn system getting a check. And these bitches dress, they steal, they get food stamps. Go fuck with them. Go fuck with a bitch that's getting Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid, and her motherfucking kids is also on SSI. Matter of fact, put the bitch in jail.
Y'all crack me up with assuming everybody that gets food stamp is just poor and just doesn't work and just. Let me get in. Listen, I think it's so funny because I literally work with people who think the same way, and it cracks me up. First of all, you can't even get food stamps unless you can prove that you are under the poverty line. Under the poverty line, meaning that you have to make less than somebody who is poor. So you're like below poor to even receive food stamps. So there's that. And then if you make even $1 over what they want you to make for your household, then they cut it off. So, and then not everybody even gets the full amount that they can get for their household. Like let's say that a household of 5 can get up to $1,400. Well, depending on how much your job pays you, you might be getting $400, $300. You might not be getting that full amount. And then outside of that, it supplements about $6 per meal per person per day. How many of you spend $6 on a meal? So just think about the fact that it's not going to even last all month anyways. You have to shop very smart in order for however much food stamps you get to last all month. So majority of people on food stamps are spending cash on food just like you. The difference is they don't have as much liquid cash as you, so they would not be able to feed their kids the full month if they were strictly going off of their cash, which is why they're able to get a supplement. Supplement does not completely pay for everything. Not to say that there aren't people who don't work, but there's also different circumstances for that as well, and it's not up to you to decide what somebody is able to do. If someone is able to work or not, you're not the one that decides that. But anyways, there's a lot of people who work, business owners. There are people who work 9 to 5s. There are people who deliver groceries or who work for the state, like people who do things like that, who still qualify for food stamps. So if you're the type of person who feels like just because someone qualifies for food stamps, they're lazy, you don't even realize that they might work more than you. They might work harder than you, but it's just the fact that they either have more children than you or their income after paying their bills is so low that they can't even afford food after that. So if you find pleasure in the fact that those kind of people are not able to buy food with the government shutdown, I think that shows how inhumane you actually are, especially if you're a follower of Christ, because I don't understand how anybody can celebrate the fact that someone is not going to be able to have some assistance that is helping them. If you don't qualify for housing assistance or for food stamps or for medical assistance, you should count that joy, because even people who qualify for it still have to rub pennies together. So they don't have more money than you because the government is helping them. The government is helping them because they have less money than you. And your money is not paying their bills because they're taxpayers too. You can't even get food stamps if you don't have a job. You can get food stamps for 3 months if you don't have a job. Outside of that, you have to actively show that you're searching for a job every single week, or you have to be working. You can't just sit on food stamps without a job. If you have kids under the age of 18 and there's a specific reason why you can't work or you're disabled, then yes, you can be on food stamps without working. But majority of people on food stamps are working 40 plus a week. So people who don't even qualify for it, or who have never had to go through the process to try and get it, or who don't have to recertify every 3 months, or who don't have to deal with the state all in their business, your opinion on this doesn't matter. And you shouldn't be posting videos about something that you don't even qualify for, that doesn't even apply to you. That's my opinion on that whole food stamp thing.
All right, so the food stamps, SNAP, whatever you want to call it, is going to be in probably in November. They're not going to give you money. But don't become angry. Don't become afraid. Fear is an illusion, okay? What I need you to do is go to your store. I know for sure Costco has it. Maybe a bigger store like Myers or what's the other one called? Sam's Club, things of that nature. Go there and get those ready meals, those ready-made meals. Granted, it's not, I don't know what they taste like. I never tried it before, but I heard they're not as bad. At the end of the day, you need to make sure that you can feed yourself and your family and your friends. So sharing is caring. I'm going to link some pictures or a video to my video so that you can see what I'm talking about. Go get that food and don't feed them the energy that they're trying to implement this fear. Be smarter. Be wiser than them, okay? Don't become discouraged. Go get this food, because some of them last for 25 years
right? It doesn't expire for 25 years. And a lot of them are like 150 servings, 300 and something servings. Now, you do have more if you can come together with your family and friends. Some of them cost a lot, like $2,000, but that's to feed like a whole lot of people for a long amount of time. If it's just you and your family, there are smaller buckets where it still has 150 servings for like $99 or $140. Like, take your stamps or money, whatever you have, and invest in that food so that you're not wondering where your next meal is going to come from. Share this video, because sharing is caring. Knowledge is power. They know that a lot of people don't know about these types of food. You know what I mean? Or they become like picky when it comes to food. Baby, at the end of the day, you need the nutrients that your body requires. And if that means you're not going to be able to eat that seafood boil or them steaks or chicken or whatever else that you like to eat, then oh well, you're going to have the nutrients that you need. And we're not going to feed any energy to this negative crap that's going on in this world. No, fear is an illusion.
Okay, so yesterday I made a video about a girl being on here crying about losing her food stamps and how was her kids going to eat and all these things. And in my video, I was just, because I went to her page and see that she was physically able to work, you know, with school age kids. And so I just said, you could just go to work. And a lot of y'all was commenting, oh, a lot of people got jobs and still are on food stamps and, you know, all these things. So what? Still go to work. And I'm an individual. I've never had food stamps. I've always made too much money. But you can still utilize food banks, food pantries. I volunteer every single week, so I know there's literally resources out there. To get on the internet crying, saying they're losing their food stamps on November the 1st. How are my kids going to eat? That's diabolical. Do you understand me? There's so many resources. I would prefer to see a video and be like, okay, I'm losing my food stamps, you know, November the 1st. This is really sad. It will be a damper on your lifestyle and a damper on your ability to provide. But I want to hear other resources come out your mouth, not just crying about how your kids are going to eat because you're losing food stamps. You understand me? So no, I cannot relate. I grew up on food stamps with a family of 12. You understand me? I understand the benefit of it. And when my mama didn't have enough, because we never lost our food stamps per se, but the food stamps did not stretch throughout the month until the next month a food stamp amount, right? So you know what we did? We were standing, me and all my mama's kids and everybody that was there, we were standing in line at the food pantry. You understand? Each kid had a bag for us to get something. Canned goods, rice, beans, whatever. So no, you're not going to be eating the best without your food stamps, but you still going to eat. And I feel like that's what some people are missing. Or you can go get a part-time job at a restaurant and ask them, can you take the remaining of the food home? I work at a restaurant. I don't cook. There's food at the restaurant. I'm not doing it. You understand? So it's just like there's things that you can do to provide resources for your children. But to get on the internet and just simply cry about how are your kids going to eat because you don't got food stamps, I'm going to need you to put 2 and 2 together and figure it out for your children. If you're not going to figure it out for yourself, figure it out for them kids.
I woke up at 2:30 this morning. That is my Parkinson's disease. But while I was awake, I decided to finally go down the food stamp rabbit hole. And, wow, I knew that food stamps were getting cut off on November 1st. I myself received food stamps as a disabled person. I have gotten a letter that said my benefits could be lost on November 1st and a text message. Okay. But I haven't been really into what the news and social media is saying. And I'm not one to get all jumpy in politics and stuff. So I'm going to go from a different area, not politics. The only thing I want to say about the politics is shame on all of you all for not doing the jobs that you're elected to do. You were elected to sit in an office and make policies, and instead you chose to go home. So shame on you. So about the food stamps. I find it really interesting. There is no middle ground from what I can see. It's either all or nothing. All the people who get food stamps don't deserve them, are lazy, don't work, and have too many babies. That's one all. Another is we all deserve to get benefits. That's another all. Now, neither of these are true, you know, and then there's the nothing. No one deserves food stamps. No one deserves help. No one deserves anything. So it's either all or nothing, but there's no middle ground. There's no persons thinking outside themselves, or they're not voicing it. I'm going to say that there are people thinking outside themselves. They just haven't voiced it. Now, we have a lot of people online who get food stamps and they are so angry and they are voicing it in a very negative way and talking about stealing and things like that. This is not an answer. We need to find a middle ground. We need to understand one another. Not everybody who's on food stamps wants to stay on food stamps. Not everybody who's on food stamps does it as a means to raise their children and have money and stay home. Not everybody on food stamps goes and has more babies and more babies to keep collecting benefits. Some people do stop at one. Some people might have 2 or 3 and circumstances change to where they need to be on food stamps for a little while. For me, I am disabled with Parkinson's, and I have food stamps. And I have a beautiful bedroom here that I live in the basement of my kid's home. I have Social Security disability, and I am not able to work, try as I might. I have issues trying to work or do anything and need frequent breaks and rest during the day due to my Parkinson's disease. Working's not an option. And there's many people like me and elderly people. And the room I live in is beautiful. But it's just a 10 by 12 space. And outside of my room that's in the basement, it's not even completely finished yet. There's still the floor joist from the upstairs. It's not insulated or closed up. There are not walls, and there's still cement floor. But this is what I can afford with the income that I have. But that doesn't mean I have to go steal something or be angry or upset. It is how things are. And as time progresses, I will make it better and do more. But being angry and stealing, that's not the answer. Calling people lazy and names, that's also not the answer. The problem with all of this is fear-mongering. I feel like it's fear-mongering. I feel like we have a couple of kids on the playground that are fighting. If you don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And if you don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And they're doing it to each other. And they're taking away each other's toys. But the toys they're taking away are us, the people. We're their pawns. Now, on a geopolitical scale, this isn't going to look too good on the United States. So in a little way, I don't see it actually happening. It isn't even confirmed. The information I got from my state for SNAP said could. Didn't say would. It said could be affected. Didn't say it would be affected. But we've taken coulds and woulds and maybes and we've made them big and we're fighting against each other. And why? Why are we fighting against each other? We hired people to do this job when we voted. When they were voted into office. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't vote because I don't see a point in voting anymore because it really doesn't make any changes because, I'm not a lobbyist. I don't have money to get things done the way I want them to get done. But that's a whole nother issue. The real issue is that we voted people, or you all, whoever voted people into office to do a job. And they need to do the job. And they need to remember that the people who voted them into office are not toys or pawns to be moved around their chessboard, to be fear-mongered, to be upset, and to be stressed. Why? Why is this supposedly the greatest country on earth? And we want to stress our people to the max about everything, every day, all the time, on repeat. This is why I don't watch the news. Anyways, that's my 2 cents weighing in on everybody else's. My suggestion, if your food stamps get cut, rice and beans, they go very, very far. Nothing processed, it costs more. Nothing packaged in smaller packages or convenience, it costs much more. Rice, beans, broth, pasta. You will not starve, and neither will your children. Just keep it real simple and real clean.
What are the single mothers who have learned to or have grown to depend on SNAP benefits? What are they supposed to do when there is no SNAP benefits? Good question. Here's the answer. The same thing other single mothers do who don't get SNAP benefits. The same thing other single mothers do who don't qualify for SNAP benefits. But what do? Well, they work harder. They pick up overtime. Some of them may get a job at a fast food restaurant. Some of them may drive an Uber. Some may DoorDash. Some may have a yard sale. Some may sell things on Amazon and sell stuff on eBay. They learn to budget better. Their budget might get a little tighter. They begin to make sacrifices. They may not get their hair done as frequent. They may not get their nails done as frequent. They may lay off buying expensive purses. They may sell some of their expensive purses. These are the things that a lot of single mothers are already doing that has never received SNAP benefits. So you mothers who are now going to have to go without SNAP benefits, you're going to have to improvise. You're going to have to sacrifice. I saw a video of this lady talking about she's going to steal if her SNAP benefits are not on her card in November. Stealing. Really? So you lose your benefits. Your first response is to risk jail time? That's your first thought process. SNAP is government assistance, not government entitlement. Government assistance, not government entitlement. If you're the type of person that is walking around saying, hey, if I don't get my SNAP benefits, if I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to steal. What that tells me and what that tells the rest of America is that you feel entitled to free money. Money that the rest of Americans who work every single day, 40 hours plus a week, who tax dollars pay into this system. But the very system that they pay into that allow some of y'all to get those SNAP benefits, most of us can't benefit from the benefits that we actually pay into. But do you see us talking about, oh, we're going to steal since we don't get no food stamps? You're not going to find not one nurse that's going to go up in the store and try to steal groceries because she don't have food stamps. You're not going to find one traffic controller or one school teacher or one federal employee walk up and say, I'm going to get me a big buggy and I'm going to pile that buggy up with all the food I normally get, and y'all better not try to stop me. For all the single mothers who will not get SNAP benefits in the month of November, for all of you who are walking around and talking about you're going to steal, I want you to know how stupid you sound. I'm gonna tell you why you sound real stupid. You really think that they are going to allow you to walk out of their establishment with a buggy full of food, and you're not gonna be the only one trying that stunt? So you mean tell me that 100 some people in one community think they got enough guts and enough entitlement to go into a grocery store and pile the buggy up with all the food that you normally get, and you think you're just gonna walk out and put the stuff in your car and just drive home like everything is normal and put the food up in the cabinet and feed your family?
Man, I'm glad they taking y'all goddamn food stamps away. They said I make too much money, but my bills and bank accounts say otherwise. Welcome to the club, bitch.
I just think that video when he was practicing how to run out of the grocery store was hilarious, so I had to add it in here. I tried to give you guys as many perspectives as possible. In this video, I included a woman that has Parkinson's disease, and she really gave her take on food stamps, and I think what she had to say in her story was very, very impactful and understandable. And what he was saying was, you guys are going to be okay. You may not be able to eat how you want or how you normally would, but to say that you're going to starve, you should never give anyone that much power over your life. And when the man said that just because your food stamps are getting cut off, the first thing that you go to is stealing, that mindset right there has to change. It's not right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Check out these videos down below. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Foodie gang gang gang. Foodie gang gang gang.